The peoples of coastal Asia and the Pacific are intimately connected to the sea, depending on it for their food and livelihood. In addition, many coastal communities have traditional practices and beliefs regarding their relationship with the sea that influence the management of their marine resources, some of which carry on to this day. The economies, lifestyles, and customs of Asian and Pacific Island nations greatly depend on the health and productivity of their coastal and marine resources. However, modern times have led to a decline in the condition and abundance of marine habitat and resources, as well as a loss in the traditional connection with the sea. Efforts from various groups have been made using local participation, knowledge, and customs integrated with modern techniques to better manage and conserve marine resources. The Locally Managed Marine Area Network is a group of conservation practitioners working on various community-based projects across Asia and the Pacific who have joined together to learn how to improve their efforts. The LMMA Network is currently active in Fiji, Indonesia, the Philippines, Papua New Guinea, Palau, Ponape, and the Solomon Islands, and its work and strategies are spreading to other countries in the region. The use of marine protected areas as part of an overall locally managed marine area, or LMMA, has helped some communities improve their marine resources. Others are still struggling. In August of 2005, 5 years after its forming, the LMMA Network held a workshop to analyze monitoring data and present results and lessons learned from members of various LMMA projects across the region.
This workshop here is the culmination of 5 or 6 years of work and research and thinking that people have done. And I think one of the really important lessons for this overall effort that we're trying to do is that it's not about the end-use products. It's not about necessarily the findings we come up with. It's who's doing the research, who's doing the thinking, and who's coming up with those findings. It's community members, it's resource managers, it's NGO folks, and it's some academics as well, all struggling together to think about these data, figure out what makes sense, and then how do they apply it to their work.
This video presents some of the communities and other stakeholders who are working to better manage and improve their marine resources, and highlights the lessons they have learned along the way. While LMMA work is well established in places like Fiji, other areas are still developing. We hope to highlight more lessons from other sites in the near future. The people we are about to meet have been engaged in implementing a locally managed marine area over the past few years. We have asked them what they have learned in the process of managing their marine resources. What has contributed to their success? What has been their biggest challenge? We hope that this video will share some valuable lessons in local marine conservation and management and will help other communities and practitioners improve their efforts from what we have learned.
I think the greatest contributing factor in the Philippines, that there are a lot of people's organization, NGOs working together, partnering with one another, that helps in the management of their coastal resources.
Ang plano nimo nga ikaw raw sa usa ra gyud. Kung sa grupo mo, daghan mo. So daghan gina siya ang makasugyot nga mao ni plano, mga plano mao na siya daghan. Kami isip organisasyon ma'am, ang ipangandoy namo nga moabot unta ang panahon nga ang among kadagatan nga makita namo nga naay isda sa baybayon ba nga makita namo uy naay isda sa daplin sa baybayon ato ning kuhaon. So makaingon mi nga bunga na to sa among paningkamot. Bunga na sa paningkamot namo nga isip nga organisasyon mi.
Kay ang local government masuporta man pud sa amo. Sa kanang ang mga NGO nga surge masuporta man sa amo. Bisag kanang uban nga dili gani membro sa organisasyon, nagpakabana man pud mutudlo pa gani na kung asa nang nag-illegal diha.
In the village of Tangange, everyone have respect in looking after the MPA regarding the hotel workers. They have an activity department who looks after the MPA. They have their guide who used to go with them. The tourists who want to snorkel around that area, they are only allowed to snorkel there at high tide.
Hindi besar na ibu kan kawan na urang lang natakabaka. Dari songo ni sona songo baka. Iya. Raw may kino na hotel. Raw ni somai. Ano kana ibu kini hotel. ando sarto menonelo kina na vivu ke bakayabo.
We are very thankful to Hideaway. They have been supporting us a lot. I know there's a lady who in the hotel. She's one of the directors. We have been developing some projects so we can get revenue back to the village. We have been planting coral, and we have a coral farm. For the tourists just to come and plant a piece of coral for 50 cents each, and part of the money goes back to the hotel, the other part of the money have come back to the village.
They really give us a lot of help in this project. They help us in guarding the protected area, and also they provided us with one boat for our fishing one to look after our protected area.
It's really important that local participation is the primary consideration before doing any monitoring of your LMMA. First, the people should understand what they're doing and know the relevance of these to their daily lives so that they'll be encouraged to participate and therefore they feel empowered that they're managing their resources.
Ang community na mo ay nag-manage sa ilang coastal resources. Sila nagbantay sa ilang fish sanctuaries. Sila mismo ang nagdakop sa mga illegal fisher.
There wasn't an outside group coming and saying we would like to set up marine protected areas. It was the community themselves, community leaders that approached us and asked for assistance with setting up some kind of management for the marine areas. So I think when you have community initiated projects, that they're much more likely to succeed because you already have the commitment from the community.
The first successful thing that I saw is the people from Institute of Applied Science, led by Alfred Itawake and Professor Bill Lasberg. They made a down-up system, which is very successful in the communities because the message is passed right down to the grassroots.
Kami mismo nga mga babae, nag-grupo mi. Pero ang kasagaran po diri nga mga babae kung hunas, ato po na sa hunasan, mga kinhason. Muto na hibalaan po nila nga, mauhon di ay ni, kung dili di ay ta kamaumumanid sa ato pangisdaan, sa sunod nga mga kuan, wala na tayo kinhason. Muto nga kami ang mga babae na ningkamot, nga sige, bahala na, kita na lang mutambong, kita rin mo istorya sa ato mga bana, tungod kay adlaw gabi naman sila sa dagat.
Pinaka-importante gyud sa effort nato katong sigurado nga kinsa gyud ang mumanid sa kana na mga paningkamot. Una na mo gifokusan sa mao nga paningkamot kadtong pagka-resolve sa mga mangingisda nga kanang panginabuhian nila diha nagkuha, primary nga gikuhaan sa ilang panginabuhian. So dapat sila pod gyud ang mo bantay o mo dumala o mo protektar sa dagat nga gikuhaan sa ilang panginabuhian.
Primerong elemento, no, yung acceptance ng mga tao nga gusto nimo katabangan, meaning the fisher folk, no, dito sa area. Nga maski haw nagtrabaho, wala gyud sila maglawong inilawom pa mo, muhatag na muhanap sa local government ng tabang para sa personal nilang enrichment. Kundi madasigon pa noon sila nga mangayo pa og igo nga knowledge, no, how they can be more effective in this, ano.
Ya, tunggu mitala nor tuna warwara tuna hotel na bikaran tu talnota tu na sarolo ko mo hotel. Yana ko naman na tambuye. Gana kurang di samua ya tuna ko ya. Na gonong ko ya guli wiki ko sesem. Gana kana libuli kay ki.
Palta na sarabon mo ro sabat latalangan di yang mon ro suka tulang karon. Sarabon mo do na ring utamay walo na non ramay ngada mera numu ketusano ito ni cuma na libungan ka na kumanya ka na benar ya na patata masih di patata na lo nyon na ulo sa pora na ni ko na lo man ni umuto ni ko na hon raw tulan.
I think the most important factor that led to the success of LMMA is that leadership. We had good leaders in our communities which work together with the communities. I think we could have a good LMMA success. And that is what is happening in my village, in the Tikin of Perata.
Nona katari boleh bela telebilu tadi. Dari itu kena sasanga kondu wadar tinggu. Dari itu nona tinggu menyangkut toko lebih nak. Ni sa kavingan na lini bono na kavingan nanra rabi posag rondo patake. Anong daga tuinde serangan ni kuai kandabu meu ndo bakasala. Meu ndo bulia ka tarada ke nambula ni velu taki vinaka na lomba ni ndo na koro. Kana kena sa fom taki ndo na daga ni songo lebe kandabu membaleta na yombula na kena usutu lego kena ulutanga lebo ni lagolongo ko kandabu me so.
The biggest success there is the change of values of the people, of the fisher folks. Example, from being a violator or from being a resource destroyer into a resource protector. So they are now protecting the environment because they think that the environment is the biggest livelihood that they have.
Sa pag-abot kinako sa Kambatong, ang isudlan kinako dayon nga pangita panagat. Bisag unsa nga mga butang diha, manguha jud ko kay natural kwarta may akong gipangita para ibuhi sa akong pamilya. Niabot ning NGOs, kining gihimo to nila, alang mo to ni kaayuhan kini nga protektahan ko na itong mga kadagatan ko no, sama sa mga corals nga nangadaot na, labi na kaning nagbuhat ko ng mga illegal nga kasama kaning mga limita nga mubuto, makadaot sa mga corals. Murag nakakita ko ba nga matay sa tuod no?
Ang dagat mo nang pinakadako na sa Shuiko. Kung naa o maayo o plastado ang paggamit ani, na kami sa mariculture na mga pamaagi na katong mga teknolohiya nga supplemental o makatabang sa mga tao.
We have these livelihood projects. We have the mud crab culture, the lobster culture, and the siganid culture. You know, the lobster is being sold in the market from 1,000 and up per kilo. They are more comfortable now. They can earn a living wherein they could support their family. And we are also controlling their families now under the family planning program. They now understand better to reduce their family number.
In Kimbe, it's the awareness of the marine environment itself. People are now more aware of what the marine systems are and the importance. So it sort of opened their minds to knowing that they have to look after these marine systems. There's a local NGO that's doing most of the education and awareness work there.
Ando na itabilew ni matentu na kana tobulei ne baka titi baka tabulivi na alioni bonwa na nonramaro roya katang mga nonringul itu lakabuli mesuli sona nonra ID irna ubis ningguli mera anggaraba makena enra bina ingguli siangolangani kuno watambu ruru nonra kuno watambu ina kuno tar nonra
Nagkuan po mi kanang doon na may gibuhat po nga kaning pagpananom sa mangroves. So wala ko ingon nga gatanong lang mi nga wa pa na ko masabti nga kining mangroves di ay usa di ani siya nga kapangitloganan sa mga isda. Kay mismo ang mga tao nga nagsigig panglugaw sa dagat nga mga illegal nga gipanggamit nila hantod karon murag nakita nako sa amuang pagpasabot namo sa ila murag dunay gamay nga nasabta nila.
Kadtong corals, seagrasses ug mangroves nga diin kung wala di ay na sila nga mga resources sa dagat dili gyud di ay kumpleto pod ang pagtubo sa isda. Diin diha sila mukaon, diha sila mangitlog, diha sila musanay. So nahibal-an namo didto sa Bakmiya nga gihatag sa taga-SERD.
Kanang mga tao ba nakita nila nga lompa ang programa in itself is working good for the people themselves. Kay sa una wala na magyud makuha nga isda. Kung naay makuha na isda undersize. Sa karon makita nimo nga ang isda nga makuha nila good size already katapos the volume has increased.
In Fiji, LMMA work has been so successful that the national government has embraced it, creating an agency within the Fisheries Department to work with LMMAs and pledging to place 30% of the country's waters under protection by the year 2020. Other countries are working towards such government cooperation.
Another thing also is the big support now given by
the different local governments. You can see the support in terms of financial assistance. They gave money to buy searchlights for the use in apprehension and patrolling, as well as food for those who are patrolling the bay.
Bisang gani sa local government, sa pagsulod na mo diri, wala pa'y agenda sa munisipyo, kabahin sa pagpangisda, kabahin sa mga paliyas sa pangisdaan, wala pa na siya. Pero gipaningkamutan gyud pinaagi na pod sa pakig-coordinate nato sa local government na katong panahon nga na-resolve sa ila o nakita nila, na internalize nila uno ka importante ang pagdumala sa pangisdaan sa hinatuan.
So ang gihimo sa among mayor, gipapaspasan ang information campaign kada barangay, labi na mga coastal barangays. Then unsay gidili, unsay angayan nga buhaton diha sulod sa sanctuary, gipasabot ang mga tao o unsay mapaabot usab sa komunidad kung maka-establishar og free sanctuary. Dito gipasabot nga ang mabulahan ang mga tao rapod sa komunidad, dili ang munisipyo kundi direkta ang mga mananagat.
Mayors, yaitu dari gereja. Dari gereja itu yang berperan utama dalam melaksanakan.
Untuk melaksanakan kegiatan ini untuk kepentingan rakyat dan sumber alam ini.
Munag ni abanti naman ang mga isda karon, unya gawas pa ang mga illegal, murag nahunong sab siya tungod sa magbantay sab siguro sa mga piyo kay kasagaran manggod sa matag baryo nga doon na mag-organisasyon.
Katong mga kaagi namo nga dili lang katong membro nga asawa ug bana nga moadto sa guard house para magbantay sa fee sanctuary. Apil na pud tong among mga anak. Kaya nakita namo nga daghan na kaayo siyang isda. So ang tao magka-interest na gyud nga mosulod. Ang mga tao pud nga dinhi sa taga Mahaba kanang naa sa community, makakita gyud pud sila giunsa pud namo pagbantay. Mao na nga sila mismo amo gi-consider kanang dili nila pagsulod nga supporter na sila para sa amo.
Kay sa akong kabahin na nagkudak panggani mismo mga igagaw nako para di makaingon lagi ang ubang mga tao nga naay amo gipabor-paboran tuman paryente or barkada. Mo ang amo ginahimo ginahikay namo, giatubang gyud namo kung sino sa violation nga ginahimo.
Unya sa panahon sa pag-robing pod, ginapakita pod namo na nag-robing. Atong una na mga panahon, mo-robing kami ng 24 hours pod para ipakita nga uno ka seryoso ang program.
Ang munisipyo nagagama og comprehensive fishery ordinance. Makita ang mga provision dito nga unsay gidili, unsay gitugutan nga mga klase sa panagat sulod sa coastal water sa hinatuan. So ang maong balaod nun nagahatag og ngipon sa atong mga people's organization nga molihok sila tungod sa balaod nga nagproteher kanila.
Kanang kung badlongon good ma'am, igora man na mo kuan imong badlongon, ingon nimo nga ayaw ra na, istoryan ra nimo, di man na maminaw. Samantala kung nanibalaod ma'am, pwede man naman ipapreso, pwede ka ng ilang mga panagat, impaw nimo. Samantala kung wa, di man gyud na mahimo pang away noon.
We have given a glimpse of the experiences and lessons from some of our members and communities. What lay ahead for them? What advice would they give to those who are trying to better manage their marine resources?
For us to succeed in any conservation program, political will is a must.
Meron to ulit na maroy na non-regular, meron kaya kasi itu, meron tayo uwi na kami ng dua batan ng doon niya. Koren dua nga nanggay ron ni Valisuit Taliman na nailaw ko itami rin tiwal. Meron man tayo nung takkan na ibising, ang batin sa tumbutungan natin tayo ibising. At tumbutungan sa dalili butungan, isa na malalim, isa na layli ko dito.
Meron ka na lini bono o urna fisheries officer endo meron dulu ring eway. Masalah nga wiki na matan tuliw kami bin na tumban ni gulgul era ni na rezo me botito mo ni kasa balgo kati no mo minto sa. So both we can together na the extension officers ke di viti sayang nekat sana dadak. Kalau bat gero lini bono era ni maru katang makina na nanon din. Eu ngandre bangan vito ko mai bige mu. Ina bugi non rang karaj nanon ko din.
Kandavu is lucky it started before any major development has occurred, any major external influences have come in, and it's the right time for it to start. It's occurring before any of the problems begin.
What we are teaching them is the value, the importance of the environment, and to use it sustainably. And one way of using it sustainably is to use gears that are sustainable in nature.
It's really important that we educate people about this. We go out and tell them we need to work together with our environment to save our coral reefs. The reefs makes up less than 1% of the ocean, yet it supports more than 3.5 million types of plants and animals, which is more than the natural rainforest can support. And we get 30% of our oxygen in the atmosphere comes from all the plants and algae harbored by coral reefs. And all the business around the world put together, everything that you get, all the employment that you get from the ocean generates more income and more money. It's really important that we give nature a helping hand. If we don't do anything to save our coral reefs now, there's nothing to show our future generations.
Satu kokoya wawae matani katumba samai kauti kolesu moyali bakadua ngana mosimo sibeyo misesengani bakarau Sebani mema kisai baba Wa makadhi bikina Nasinga enda tolo kuda Memara utakikina Matani nona beisa